Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Before we get into today's video, let's quickly recap all the topics which we have covered. Right, so in our episode 1, we have seen who all can enroll in this free Python certification program. In episode 2, we have gone through introduction to the programming language, where we have seen different types of programming such as machine language, assembly language, and high level language, right? And we have understood why Python is very easy compared to other languages, right? So we have gone through intro. And then in our episode 3 and 4, we have gone through the installation of Python. We have installed our Python and as well as Jupyter Notebook. Okay. And in episode 5, we have gone through roadmap of what are all the topics which we are going to cover. And we have seen one particular topic. We have started that as variables. Okay. So today we'll be continuing our journey with respect to Python. So yesterday we have seen variables. What are variables? Variables are containers which are used to store some values. Okay. And there are certain set of rules which we need to follow. Okay. Now today we'll be dealing with data types. Now what are data types? See, data types are classification which specifies what kind of data should be stored in a variable. Okay, Nasir, but why do we need that? See, let's consider one very simple example. Whenever I'm talking about name, do you think in name we can have special characters and numbers? No, right? We cannot have numbers, right? We cannot have. So this cannot be permitted, right? So name should be in the form of strings, where it should contain alphabets. Okay, now I'm talking about age. Do you think age can I just take any alphabets there? No, age should be in the form of integers. Okay, so we need to specify what kind of data is stored in which variable. Okay, this is one reason. What else? For effective memory management. Right, what is effective memory management? We'll understand that in a while. When we are studying different types of data, where we have numeric, sequence, all those things, we'll understand that in detail. Okay, and the data integrity is maintained, like I've said, right? Age should be in the form of integer itself, right? We cannot have numbers here, sorry, alphabets or characters here. And then operations. Integers can not have operations with strings, right? So to have a proper operations, we are going to make use of data types and a code clarity. It will be very easy for us to understand. Okay. Now let's quickly talk about what are the different types of data available in Python. Okay, or what are the different data types available? Right. So we have first one, numeric, sequential or sequence type. We have mapping, we have set, we have Boolean, and we have none type. Within this integer, we have, within this numeric type, we have integer, floating point, complex, right? And within this sequence, we have string, all the alphabets and characters we can use here, list, tuple. These are sequence data types. Then we have mapping, dictionary, where key and value are mapped to each other. And then we have set, right? We have Boolean, 0 or 1, true or false, very important data type. And then we have none type. Whenever there is no data, we are going to refer it as none type. Okay, so initially we'll be just going through all the theoretical concepts, and then after that we'll be going through the scripting, where we will just take one uh, data type and we are going to look into the examples for those things. Okay, so first let's quickly go into the numeric data type. See, what are numeric data types? Represent integer values. Sorry, in numeric we have integers, floating, and complex, right? So what are integers? Which represent integer values or a whole number. Okay, so when it is used, so whenever I take an example, maybe number of students. Yes, so what will be the number of students? Either it can be 5, or it can be 10, or it can be 15, correct? But it can't be 1.5. Right, so in that scenarios, we are going to go with integer. And then we have floating point. What is the distance of my college from my home? 3.2 kilometers. Here we can have a decimal value. Right. In this scenarios, we are going to prefer floating point. And then we have complex number where we have the imaginary part as well. Okay. So similarly, like this, we have uh, okay. Now let's talk about memory management, right? In integer, internally in Python, it has four different types. One is byte, short. Okay, this is everything is internal. We need not to worry about this. Okay, we have int and long int. All right. Then see, this is why effective memory management is really important. So here you can see, let's consider I'm talking about age. Now, age, don't you think age most of the time it will be within the range of 0 to 100 of humans? Or maybe I can just consider 0 to maybe 150 maximum. 150 is also too much. We'll go with 120. Yes. Now, here if you see, whenever I'm declaring age, do I need more than this or this is sufficient? That's sufficient, right? So I need not to go with the long. See, it is using 8 bits. This is nothing but internal memory. Okay, internal memory. So I'm just going to use 1 byte. 1 byte is sufficient because the range of 1 byte is minus 127, 128 to 127. Okay, now, but if I'm taking some other thing, based on that, it will be allocating what it has to use. Let's see, imagine if for age, I'm using long, then what is the issue here? I just need 1 byte. Remaining 7 bytes are wasted, right? So that is the reason why we even have furthermore divisions. So whenever I'm talking about float, in float also we have some divisions. Okay, so it has float, double, long double. It will take care of this internally. You just need to assign. Maybe I'll say age is equals to 21, and maybe I'll say salary is equals to, okay, and okay, let's take this. Yeah, wait. So it will automatically assign what it has to take. So if I say 0.7 something, wherever it is, it will just automatically assign. It is going to save us the memory. Okay, so this is one of the reason why data types are very important. Now let's have a look into sequence data types. In sequence, we have string, which is nothing but it is the combination or representation of multiple characters. Okay, together. Then we have list. List is also a ordered collection of data where we are going to deal this list, tuple, set, and dictionary in advanced data structures. Okay, and then we have tuple. So we'll create all those things we are going to create and see. Then we have mapping. In mapping, we have dictionary, where we will be having key and value. Sorry, key and value pair. Okay, so basically we'll be having key. With that, we'll be having the value, key value pair. And set is represented in the form of just flower brackets, where we do not have any key value pairs. We'll be having just numbers A, B, 1, 3, like that. Okay, right. So it's the ordered collection of data where it can only allow unique items. Okay, again, need not to worry about this. We are going to deal in detail about the advanced data structure, especially list, tuple, set, and dictionary. We will be having a separate video on this. So that's why I'm not going to go much detail in this. Okay, now we have two more data types, right? That is Boolean and none type. See, Boolean is nothing but true or false or 0 and 1. 0 is false, 1 is true. Okay. And none type, what it represents whenever there is no data or whenever represents the absence of the value or a null value. That is our none type. Okay. So these are some of the basic data types where we will be dealing with in this particular video, we'll be dealing with, okay, one more thing is left. Strings. Okay, we'll be dealing with strings in detail as well. So what are strings? These are nothing but collection of characters. Okay, so in the strings, we have different string methods, right? We'll take one example and we'll get a clear understanding of those things. We have strip function, lower, upper, we have replace, find, count, various different functions are available. Okay, so let's quickly go to our Jupyter notebook, right? So then only it will make clear sense, right? What we are studying. So let me say Jupyter notebook. Okay, so we can directly go with the coding, but then again, for your revision purpose, these documents we have created so that it will be easy for you guys to recap. Okay, all right, so our Jupyter notebook will open anytime soon. Okay, so we'll create a new notebook for data types and we are going to start working on that. Okay, all right, any moment now. I hope you guys are practicing parallelly, right? Yes, come on, come on. All right, so this is variables. Yesterday we have seen how I'm saving this variable. Okay, all these are strings and all data types. But yesterday we have just gone through the variables, right? So today we'll be talking about data types. New notebook. Okay, so quickly we'll go through all the data types. It will make more sense. Data types. Okay, so first we will just quickly talk about numerical data type. So in numerical data type, which was the very first one we had? Integer. Okay, so how do we define an integer? Very simple. Say age is equals to 25 or 50. That's it. This is an integer. Okay, so now I want to check the type. How can we check the type? Yesterday also we have seen this, right? I can just say type and place in the variable which I want to check the type for. So I can say age. You can see this is nothing but an integer variable. Okay, then next what we have after integer, we have seen floating point, right? So maybe I'll say salary is equals to 50.25, 50.25 rupees. Okay, enter. Now, if I want to check the type, what will be the type of the salary? Let's quickly change this salary. It's a floating point, right? Then after this, we have seen what else we have seen? I think we have gone through the complex number, right? So integer, we have complex number. Okay. So if we want to save complex number, maybe I'll say C is equals to 3 plus 4j. It will understand. By default, it will understand that whatever the number we are talking is about complex number. So type C, it's a complex number. Okay. So next up, if you remember, if you have studied Java and other languages, there we have to specify what kind of data we are using. But here we need not to specify that. All right. Then next, okay, first we'll quickly say we have completed numeric type, right? And let me put it, and I'm going to change it to text markdown, right? So here you can see markdown. This is used for like we can create headings and those kind of things. Okay. So we have covered numeric. Now, after numeric, let's go with sequence data types. Okay, we have covered numeric, and now let's talk about sequence data types. So let's make this a subheading. Okay, it's copying the entire image. I don't need that. Okay. And press Control Enter, sequence type. So first, we are going to talk about string. So how do we define a string? We have already seen that yesterday. What we can do, I'll say name equals to, either we can use single quotes. Okay. So first, let's go with single quotes where I'm going to say Nasir. Is this permitted? Yes. Then if I want to display this, what I have to do, I'm going to make use of print function. Okay. So I'm going to make use of print, oops, not name. I'm going to say name, not in strings. It should be just name. Okay. Oh, I need to run this. Okay, I have executed and then, oh, print p small. Sorry. So let's make this p small. Let's see. It's print. Now, okay. Now, let's say using double quotes. Okay, we can create strings using single quotes, double quotes, and triple quotes. Why do we do that is, let's consider Nasir's class, right? Apostrophe S. If we have this kind of data, then what will happen? There will be an issue, correct? So let's consider Nasser apostrophe s. If I use single variable, what will the Python think? The string has started here and has ended here. To avoid this confusion, we are going to make use of double quotes. Okay, so let me clear this out. And I'm going to put this, I'll say name underscore one is equals to, I'm going to put it in double quotes. So that whatever it is going to take, it will take it in a double quote. Okay, so I'm going to just print this Narcissus apostrophe s. But if I take only single quotes here, it will be creating a confusion. Okay, and there will be some scenarios, right? So let's consider, I'm going to talk about, okay, India. Right. Now, when I'm talking about India, I have to put this in double quotes. Correct. Then again, when it is, I'll say India is amazing. Okay. So if you see double quote, I've already used. So in this scenario, we can use three single quotes, one, two, three. And at the end, I'm going to say one, two, three. I can store this in one variable, maybe a is equals to, and I can print a. Okay. Control enter. India is amazing. Right. So here you can see whenever there's a situation where in the sentence itself I'm using double quotes. That time we can go with triple quotes for the entire sentence. So what we have seen so far, we have seen how we can create strings. What are the three different methods? Single quote, we have double quote, and then we have triple quote. These are three single quotes. Okay. All right. So we have seen string. Next, let's look into the other data types. Later, we'll deal with them in detail. Okay. So we have list is equals to. Now, how do we define a list? See, we can define a list with the help of square bracket. Okay. So I'm going to say maybe 1, 2, 5, 8. Okay. Again, we are going to deal with this in detail in the future. For now, just see how we are going to define list. Okay. So I'm saying print list. It is going to print as the list, right? And then after list, we have seen tuple. Sir, what is the proof that this is a list? We can check the type. Say type list. Okay, L is capital. Check the type list, right? So now let's see next thing. Am I sharing the screen yet? Right? Okay. All right. Now next we have list. We have seen we have tuple, right? Tu tuple or tuple, whatever we can call it. So how do we define a tuple then? So we are going to define it with the help of curly braces. Okay, so here I can just say multiple things I can take. I can take name in here. I can take number 21. I can take maybe, let's say, apple. Okay, again, this is a string, right? Then I'll say anything we can take. Maybe I'll say 80, various things we can pull. Okay, control enter. And if I just print out the tuple, here you can see. Now, what is the benefit of tuple is it is immutable and we cannot change once we have created it. Okay, we'll see those things later. Quickly, let's check the type, type. Remember, to check the type, we can just say type, and inside of that argument, we are going to pass as tuple, whatever it is, tuple. Okay, so I'll just change the name as well so that we don't get confused. In B, I'm going to store this. And what is B? Okay, what is the data type of B? Okay, let me remove this and check B. It's tuple. Okay, then after this, we have what we have seen. I think we have seen a dictionary, right? Mapping, yep, mapping. Okay, so we have seen mapping type. Let's quickly make it markdown. Mapping, mapping. Okay, so in this mapping, we have dictionary, right? So I'll say DICT is equals to flower brackets. And we have one more data type there, that is set. Okay, now how do we define a set? Let me just make it as markdown. Okay, now how do we define a set is same thing. What we do is we are going to make use of flower brackets. Okay, Nasir, but what is the difference? See, dictionary is something where it has key value pair. So whenever I'm defining a dictionary, it comes with a key and a value. And set is something where it just has the value. Right. But in set, we have certain different things where it should be unique, all those things. We are going to study this in detail later. Okay. But now let's see how we are going to define this. So for dictionary, I'm going to say, let's say maybe age is my variable. So let's put it in strings. Okay. It's my key. And what are the different ages I can, like our students have, we can say 21 years, 25 years, maybe 23 years. Okay. Right. And I'm just gonna say dictionary. And let's say maybe, let's check the type, right? TYPE type, and I can say dictionary. And okay, you can see here dictionary. Okay, now here if you see the number has changed, right? It's 24, 25, and here is 1, 2. Why? Because my laptop got restart. All right, so that's the reason why from where I'm executing in the current console, it is going to give the numbers. Okay. And if I re-execute this, it will be 3 because I've already executed 1 and 2. All right. Okay. Now we were talking about mapping. We have covered about set. Then we have, okay, next, let's define inside of a set, right? We can have maybe, I will say name is allowed. Okay. Then various things we can have 50, right? This is the set. Okay. Now, the last thing which we are going to discuss in data types is string methods. Okay. So let's go down. String methods. All right. So let's make it as markdown, heading. Okay. All right. Now let's take one string. Maybe I'll say um, message is equals to hello world. So this is our string. Now, on this string, we have various different functions which we can perform, various built-in functions which we can perform. Okay. So firstly, let's say message dot, okay, message dot, and if I press tab, it should show me all the different functions or all the different string methods available. So I'm going to say capitalize. Okay. As this is a function, open and close with a bracket. Here you can see what it has done. It has just converted the first. See, capitalize is something where only the first character or the first alphabet will be capital. Rest of them will be small. So here, if you can see, let me print my message first. Okay. If I print my message, you can see W is capital and H is capital. Correct. But when I'm applying this capitalized function, W is being converted into small. All right. So like this, I have various different, maybe I'll say message. Uh, if I press tab, it will auto-complete for us, okay? Message tab, it will show us, let's say upper. Let's convert everything into uppercase. Okay, you can say upper. See, everything has been converted into uppercase. Now, what if I say message? Will it be uppercase or lowercase? Yes. Why it is same as original one? Because we are just applying the function. We are not saving it. If I want to save it back, I can say MSG. Okay, message. Now when I check, it will be converted into capital. Right, like this, there are various different string methods. So this is your first assignment, where first you need to practice with respect to all the variables, and then you need to go with all some of the examples of all the data types, and you need to at least come up with 10 string methods, various different string methods you have to perform, and you have to send it to us with the final assessment. Okay, for your certification, make sure you're going to complete these assignments. All right. So let's see one more message dot case fold. We have find. We have okay count. The various things are available. You can explore all this. Lower. It will convert everything into lowercase. All right. So I hope you have understood what is your task as well. So make sure you're practicing on time. And if you like the video, please do hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends. Thank you. See you in the next video. Take care.